Once again, we find ourselves here, saying that we're back.
Yes.
Maybe for you never to see it. Who knows?
Maybe. We'll never know.
People have been clamoring to hear us again.
It's a lot of fucking innuendo.
Clamoring.
We got some terrible things to talk about today.
That's an understatement.
Yes, but you're the one for theatrics, so I figured I'd let you state it.
Yeah.
We're back because Ak is angered.
Why is it always me who's angry?
Because it
You're
is.
the angry one.
So are you happy?
Well, what was the nonsense you just dropped 2 seconds ago? That seems like what, sadness, or is that not anger? That's sadness.
Passive aggression, maybe.
Fucking pathetic is what the fuck it is. If you're coming at me, come at me with a fucking chainsaw, brother.
We have 2 topics of discussion today, both of which you're angered by.
Yeah, I was triggered.
All right. So
Super triggered.
what triggered you? What triggered you first?
What triggered me first was this fucking DMZ show that came out on HBO Max, right?
And Crave.
And fucking Crave. Why are we mentioning Crave?
Well, because Crave has the Canada contract for HBO
We're not
Max.
Canadian, so
What?
we're not. Are we Canadian?
So what are you talking? What is DMZ? What are you talking about?
DMZ was a really good fucking comic book series that dropped 2005. My notes say November 2005. It was Brian Wood and fucking Riccardo Bichelli. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name.
It's Burchelli.
Birch Bichelli. It's fucking possibly Italian. Really good artist.
So that's a hell of
He
a
could be something else.
Yeah, he could
He
be.
could be.
good a guess as I could
We
make.
just don't know.
We don't know.
But yeah, so it's now been adapted by HBO.
No. They didn't adapt anything.
There was no adaptation.
They bastardized. It's been bastardized by HBO Max.
cherry picked. Somebody read the back cover and was like, "Wow, that would be way too hard to actually make. So let's do something else."
Yeah, legitimately speaking. They fucking completely just, I don't even know how to describe it, but they fucked it up really bad. And they fucked it up because they were worried about what I read was the quote-unquote insurrection.
Oh, because of the January 6th stuff, yeah.
The crazy-ass white people who rolled up into the fucking Parliament building there in America.
So the original book was based on the concept that there was a civil war
In America, yeah.
in America.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they created a demilitarized zone in New York.
Manhattan
Island, to be specific.
Like, New York is split between the two factions.
And it was about a journalist named Matt Roth.
Yeah.
Who
Photographer!
Well,
Photojournalist,
Because I'm an
whatever.
asshole, I wanted to cut in and say he was a photographer. He was working for a journalist, Pulitzer Prize winner.
Anyways, he goes into the demilitarized zone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where the story kicks off. It's all about what's going on in there and the politics between the different groups that have either been trapped or opted to stay
Yeah,
there.
because like when the comic series starts, not much is known about the DMZ. Like, not from the viewer's perspective, from like the actual situation.
They kind of just
the
drop you in
outside.
it.
Yeah, so they you know, think of Matt Roth as like kind of like your narrator for the first little part of the series.
He's the Watson.
and he came into it hearing stuff from the outside, but not really knowing until he was into it. So as it's revealed to him what's going on there, it's revealed to us.
Yeah, and then he runs into one of the earlier characters he runs into is a female medic named Z, or goes by Z or Zed or whatever the fuck you want to say it is. And you know, she kind of guides him through the DMZ, and you know, the story takes from there. Now these sons of bitches out at HBO Max were like, you know what, since we're Max, we're gonna fuck this to the max, and instead decided to cut the main character entirely out of the fucking story.
Yeah.
Because he's white, and white people did the insurrection thing is what I'm guessing, because that's how they explained it to me without actually explaining it, because they took such a lazy job of explaining why the fuck they were so hacky with this story. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's my best guess, is because he represents, and you guys right now are in the shitter, so you can't be the lead of the series. So they gave it to Z, and then instead of Z being from the DMZ, they started on the outside of the DMZ, and she now, like, you know, she was on day one of DMZ, she was getting out, and, you know, won Parent of the Year award and left her kid in the DMZ, and she was like, shit, I gotta
go back because I'm a terrible fucking parent.
And
I gotta go back. 8 years later,
8
yes.
years later, she figured it out, and then it starts there.
She scoured all of the continental U.S. looking for her son, and then resolved maybe he's where I left him in the first.
Yeah. But
And she's not named Z until she actually gets to the DMZ, and then she was blessed with the name Z in the DMZ.
Yeah, and I don't know why, because it's like Alma or something like. It's not even anything.
I think it's Alma Hernandez or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of the political commentary that was in the original book has been scrubbed away
Gone.
in order to avoid controversy, basically.
Yeah.
And in doing so, they've made it very generic.
I felt like it was very racist almost. Like,
I
once
mean-
colored people are in the lead, all we do is make gangs.
My theory is just that they were like,
That's
well,
what happened, though.
we want
To a
to.
certain extent, because you got to remember it's still a DMZ, so it's like you're even in an area like that, you're always gonna have factions.
Factions I can live with, but they call them gangs.
They do call them gangs, and
I thought that was the people from the outside were calling them gangs.
No, they were calling them gangs.
they were gangs
Oh my
because they're
God.
gang lords, which
Yeah.
I find it curious that like this girl, this Z,
Yeah.
who her husband becomes one gang lord, her coworker
Yes.
becomes the other gang lord,
Yes.
and her
Yeah.
sons become the assassin. So what is it about this woman that everybody just goes off the deep end on? I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
It's called plot contrivance.
Plot contrivance.
It
And
was contrived.
so it was really in my mind. I was mentioned Ock earlier. It would be like if you wanted to do an adaptation of Dune, and what you did was just take a planet that had sand. You ignored the spice. You ignored all the other things. It was just like it's got a dunes on it, so that's what it is. And this is DMZ. What is the similarities? It's the DMZ. But even that they don't explain.
No.
At the very worst, they could have taken 2 minutes, even with graphics or something, and said, "This is where the Civil War," and just a picture of the area, like this
It's
is
so
what's
fucking
going on.
touchy, Riddick.
But there's nothing there.
Don't bring it up. You're reminding me of shit that happened that didn't really quite happen like this story, but it's similar enough for me to get upset about it. Okay?
There's not a lot. So
No, there's
with
not a lot.
by the grace of God, there was only 4 episodes.
Yeah.
So
Jesus
I don't know if
Christ,
that
oh.
was the original. I don't know if that was the original intent for 4, or they planned for more and then thought, after number 1, this is bad. Let's just make it 4.
Okay, so theory.
Yeah.
Let's say HBO Max went to these people. They're like, yo, we heard you were some of the top butchers in the industry.
Okay.
All right? We're going to give you $1 million to do 10 episodes of DMZ.
Okay.
And they're like, does it have to be 10 episodes? And they're like, no. So then in their minds, they're like, while we're butchering this shit, we can get the job done in 4 episodes and be home early for dinner.
Well, and it could very well be like, we'll give you $100 million to do it,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, we can spend 40
Yeah.
and keep pocket the rest of these
My
60.
Yes.
Yeah.
my theory is that production costs for The Last of Us were getting too high, and so to offset it, they're like, well, we got the sets like half set up,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let's just
Oh,
film
yeah.
another show.
Oh, that explains. Yeah, because like the DMZ
There
and
was
the
a lot of
comic.
similarities for the settings.
Well, that's true because it is. Yeah, you're right. It's over. New York is overgrown somehow. Like nobody
Yeah.
lives
Yeah.
there, but they live there. In the comic series, it's a war zone.
Yeah.
So shit's blown up all over the place. There's, you know what I'm saying? There's graffiti everywhere. Like, you feel me? Like it's really showcased that shit's all over the fucking place.
Like there
But
is,
it's not overgrown.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's not leopards and zebras and shit running
So,
around.
so bottom line,
Jaguars.
if you like the
Jaguars.
DMZ and are like, hey, I like the DMZ, so
Yes.
I should like this show. No.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
not-
I feel bad for my dad. The way that I heard about the show is he's like, oh, did you see that like Crave made this? I'm like, nope. And then I mentioned it to Ock, and he's like, it's terrible.
Yeah, actually, I would only suggest this show if you've never seen anything before in your life, like anything. Like you were blind yesterday and deaf, and
You
today
just
you're
now
That's
were
kinda-
able
that's-
to see and hear.
yes,
That's kind of fucking rude.
because how's it rude?
The first media you want somebody to fucking experience is this?
you're-
But you have to
this?
think about it because
Right.
now you have nothing to go over, and then you just watch some filth.
Oh, so
watch
you
some
just
shit.
you're starting from the bottom,
starting from
and
the
now
bottom.
everything is up.
Right.
You're just going up from there.
Homie,
Yeah.
you're riding the high of being able to see for the first time,
Yeah.
and you're just like, you want to
Yeah,
just
so
torpedo them?
You got to start off
Then
baby steps. You
then
start
stick-
off from the
They
bottom.
stick plastic forks
Listen,
in
you
their
can't
eyes
just-
because they don't want to
You
see
can't just
anymore.
come into this world
Listen.
starting off at the top
Straight.
and then falling down. No. You got to
gotta
start
build you
from the bottom
Yeah.
and
And
work your way to
yeah,
the
Rosario
top.
Dawson, she's cool, but she can't save an
Yo,
entire show.
the whole cast was good to go. I didn't mind the fucking cast. I mind like the acting and or not the acting, but like the
writing.
script, the writing.
Some was over the top, but it was like I mean, Benjamin Bratt, that guy's got to be 60. He's like cut like crazy.
Yeah,
Like
he
he's
was
like,
Oh,
bam.
Yeah, man,
Well,
it's incredible what you can do when you don't get tested for roids. Or
So,
any sort of
the-
performance enhancers.
The only thing I had a problem with in terms of the cinematography
Yeah.
was how there were some scenes where it was just like the silence and then it was just like the panoramic shots for no reason.
Yeah.
Like that was the only problem I had. It's like just move the goddamn story forward. Who gives a shit about these fucking solemn moments?
Like my problem is like, man,
It's like
the
you're in a
fucking-
goddamn DMZ, goddammit.
They embarrass colored people. That's all I'm saying. I was embarrassed. As a colored person, I was fucking embarrassed. Okay? And I hope this show gets canceled. It's probably getting canceled anyways. Like,
They were canceled.
I was gonna say I don't think anybody heard about it, so.
Yeah. Well, where do you go with that story afterwards? The way it fucking ended, how bad it ended.
It doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't go anywhere.
So as much as Ock hated the DMZ,
Yeah.
he hated the new Punisher series even more.
Ooh,
One
nice
sec.
segue.
Before we swap to that, the actual DMZ comic though, go fucking read it. It ends horribly.
Yeah. It does get a
You know,
little
but-
too. It's in my mind, like it gets a little too politicized. Like
Yeah.
it was kind of a element, but then it becomes the main thing.
Yeah, but I really feel that's just because the story was too big to begin with. Like, it's hard to wrap up that kind of story, I would imagine. And it's proven at
And
the
plus,
end. So,
a lot of readers were demanding to know what was going on with that Civil War.
yeah.
Because, like, at the beginning of that whole series, you're literally learning about life in the DMZ and what it's like for them. Like, just surviving there.
Yeah,
I think-
And then it wasn't until, like, I think it was the third volume?
Yeah.
Second or third volume where they actually start going into, like, the political aspects of the two factions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I think it went 72 issues. I think it went 6 years.
It is 72 issues, yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
the first
stopped in, like, 2012
the
or
first
something.
3 years probably were like the highlight years, and then
Yeah.
it kind of I don't want to say fizzled, but it didn't end strong.
Floundered.
No, I liked how it kind of just completely changed around midway through the series. Like the story didn't, but the main character kind of did. Like he got comfortable with his surroundings, and then like in a way he like in my mind he becomes kind of like the shitty person of the story.
And there was there was like these things kind of very Sandman-esque where like about a half a dozen issues, maybe 2 or 3 years in, there were like these vignettes where they were like one shots that didn't even involve Matt Roth, just involved people in the DMZ, and you got a little bit different.
Yeah, they put
stories.
that all in one trade too, if I'm not mistaken. All those little one shots.
I think they might have been all been in a row. Like I'm not sure, and they might have even had different guest artists. That
because the characters in the DMZ were fucking amazing.
Yes.
Everything was good to go except for the fucking the adaptation that they made there. And one last thing, really fucking quick.
All right, one last.
When you're writing out there, if any of you fucking crackheads, which I really hope one of them is watching, like them fucking screenwriters and them producers and executives, like, can we get something across here? Like, when you're starving, right? Like, let's say I'm really fucking thirsty and I don't got a lot of fucking water. The last thing I want to see done with my water is people playing with it. Like, you feel me?
I
Like,
didn't
you
understand.
open up the fire hydrant that running the water, and then it's going around, and then we're doing some Sound of Music fucking bullshit when I could be literally saving that water and drinking it later.
Hold up your glasses, and as we spray water into the air, fill up your cup.
Right? Like that, it was really absurd. You guys need to get it through your fucking skulls. When fucking resources are limited, don't fucking squander them just to be like, oh, here's a fucking water party. Yeah, people like emotions. Like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking bastards.
There's other ways to do that.
But
Right? If you don't know what we're talking about, don't watch the show and don't worry about it, okay? Just leave it there.
Marvel's taking this like interesting new tactic where they're not writing the death of a character anymore on the title. They're just assassinating the character in the book. So it's a surprise.
They're assassinating me, bro. They're assassinating us.
They're assassinating the readers, the longtime
They're
readers.
assassinating. Like, what more can we fucking say already about this fucking series? Do you see the fucking picture? Spenny might think you guys don't see it. I believe you should see it. But you know what? I hope you don't, because it was a tragedy. It was a travesty. It was fucking miserable.
So what's depicted over here, Ak? What are they looking at?
That is Frank fucking Castle, the Punisher.
And who's with
the
him?
Punisher's dead. Maria, his wife, Maria Castle.
But how is that? Maria was killed years ago.
The Hand resurrected the bitch so that they could be together forever, and then the Punisher would just start killing.
Yeah, and for some reason he's okay with that.
Yeah, why not? The Hand.
Even though his family's never been resurrected before, and he's never shot them because to him they were already dead.
Oh, he's gonna end up killing her.
So
He was
that's like
killing me.
It's a foregone conclusion. But so we open with some generic bad guys, the Apostles of War or some bullshit like that.
Dickheads.
Something like that.
They're wearing a bunch of like Ares looking helms,
Yeah.
worshipping battle.
Another mega organization dealing guns of fucking alien technology and high technology. And no superhero fucking finds because superheroes are too busy fighting fucking superheroes in the Marvel Universe to do actually any sort of fucking good.
And so the Punisher shows up
Yeah.
and he murders the fuck out of all of them.
With a katana blade.
Yeah. Because that's cool.
Yeah.
And then the Hand, he's working with the Hand. he tells some people off screen to like go grab all the weapons and burn everything else, and then yeah, it's hand ninjas.
Yeah, and in the comic, it does this really obnoxious jump to the present and the past, the present, the past, the present, the past, the present, the past, and it really only seems like it's like a week apart from each other.
Don't forget the past.
The past.
Oh
yeah,
yes, the past.
Because they open with a prologue of like the park shooting because.
Yeah, because obviously don't know
Uncle Ben
about
hasn't been
Punisher's
shot
past,
enough times.
you know?
We got to rehash everything.
Yeah.
I do gotta admit though that page of the Punisher canon stuff that was going through.
That was cool. That was cool. But that was
Mm-hmm.
literally just a snapshot of like cool covers and moments from better Punisher books.
Some were better Punisher books, yeah. Actually, I guess all of them were better Punisher
Yeah,
books.
compared to this.
Absolutely.
And then, so it is revealed that the Hand has decided that Frank Castle is the perfect avatar to bring about the Beast.
This is after they tried and failed with Wolverine, tried and failed with Elektra, tried and failed with Daredevil. Now the fucking Punisher is the fourth, tried and failed with Bullseye.
Bullseye, yeah. The next in a long line of potential candidates or some bullshit.
Yeah,
like
after they got through all of them, they're like, you know what, let's try Frank. He's normal.
Yeah, the king of killers, the most accomplished mass murderer in all of Marvel.
Is he?
That's what they quoted. That's
their
thing, not mine.
Fucking thing, man.
And then
So for the uninitiated, basically Frank Castle was a cop, and he was having a picnic with his family in Central Park. They kind of got caught in the crossfire of a mob shooting.
Are we Marvel Comics? Are we really doing the redundant thing?
So I'm just saying. So he committed his life to basically anyone who's committed a criminal offense. Correct. He would take out. It could even be jaywalking. At one point, it was jaywalking. He would kill someone for littering. He would kill them. Mm-hmm. And so basically, he's committed his life to, if you've done something wrong, I'm going to punish you. Hence the Punisher.
Yeah,
right?
It's not revenge.
So the Hand is a group of assassins who will blatantly kill people for money, for profit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so he somehow has no problem with becoming their head assassin.
Well, they levied his wife for it,
Well, no, but okay, so there's a lot of stupid shit with this. So first, like the way they describe it, he's not even the leader of the Hand. He's just like their executioner.
Yes.
That is the leader.
He's the chief. Well, he's the chief assassin.
Well, no, because Madame Gal is...
In a league of dudes who just stab people, the one the head stabber is the stabby.
Yo, you driving too much.
I can't. I'm shaking. It's fucking killing me.
But yeah, so
Jason Aaron wrote this fucking shit.
Yeah. And that's the problem, because Jason Aaron has written good Punisher.
He's written really good Punisher.
He's written really good Thor, too.
He has written good Thor.
If you just read this, you'd think that the man has never opened a Punisher comic. Because, once again, the Punisher's like Batman. Bruce Wayne is not the character. The character is Batman.
Yes.
Frank Castle's dead.
He did die in the park with his family.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Where he let them die. Important note. He let them die.
That's from Punisher Born. We don't need to ruin everyone's life there. But yeah, he did. Technically. In the Bourne series.
Yeah.
Which we don't know if it's the 616 Punisher, but I would like to believe all Punishers across all multiverses
are consistent.
Yeah, and they don't give a fuck about the dumb shit. And they're like, you know what? You're a bad dude. You're not going to go to jail. I'm going to put you in jail. But it's a permanent jail. It's called death, motherfucker. Welcome to the end.
Yep. Especially Frankie.
Yeah. He's like super happy that his wife's alive for some reason.
He's super soft too, which is crazy. Yo, this shit's fucking insane, man. Like, they didn't even I'm gonna pop that shit up. The Hand. They didn't even fucking heal her bullet wounds. They just glazed over him like, yeah, she's still shot up. Like, she has bullet holes in her face.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. The next issue, they can obviously go into some shit about, where, they didn't actually bring back her wife. He was, there was a toxin, there was a hallucination, there was something. But you went too fucking far. Because even in his fake mind, he still ended up working with the Hand to bring back his dead wife, Resurrection. Which
exactly.
is I would imagine a guy who believes in the finality of you're fucking dead would be very against resurrecting people, specifically his family. And if you are gonna resurrect them, can you at least fucking fix the bullet holes? You feel me?
And especially a criminal organization doing it.
Yeah. I can't wait to see his two kitties all littered up with bullet holes.
And what's additionally troubling that I don't know, because I was trying to figure out sense of this all. So I went in looking recently in Savage Avengers, not recently, but in the Savage Avengers series, the Hand had already stolen his family in their coffins. And the last we saw their family, Frank Castle and Conan were dragging their coffins through Antarctica. So somehow the Hand got them back again. I don't know what they were. Frank Castle didn't. What he did with their bodies, I don't know.
Well, clearly he just got the coffins.
He just got the coffins and
Why did he take him to Antarctica?
because we're in the savage land. Because they're the savage Avengers.
Well,
So, makes
clearly
sense.
Savage.
the family is not important to him. It's just burying them. Whether or not they're in the coffin, that's
In Antarctica.
Because
Brown's as good as any.
I'm not 100% sure because that Savage Avengers series is trash too.
It's so trash.
But I think
Everything's
that was the
trash.
point
Everything's
that they were
trash.
grabbing it to kind of use them as a negotiating chip with Frank Castle, so he took them back.
Rest in peace,
And
Conan.
yet here they're going to enter it again, and Frank's going to be like, "Well, let bygones be bygones." And so, who do you want me to kill? No.
No, they've gone too fucking far this time.
So
Like, fuck, should we add the extra spoiler? Maybe we shouldn't. I said we shouldn't at the beginning, but it's burning a hole in my soul right now.
all right, what's that?
The extra spoiler.
Go ahead.
Just say it.
The whole... So, Elektra, recently, as Daredevil, commandeered the Fist, which is a offshoot organization of the Hand.
Yep.
And then Daredevil is joining Daredevil to fist the shit out of the Reader in a fist versus hand fight.
Well, because I think the Hand is just the Hand, but the Fist is more violent.
Fistic.
And like it's very obvious that's what they're going for because Daredevil versus Punisher, that's so fucking cool. Like that's played out.
Never
7,000
since
times.
Sword and Shield has Marvel been so creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we didn't even mention that the Punisher changed his chest plate.
Oh, yeah, you know what? It's funny. That's not even the worst part about the fucking series.
It's
That
not.
they changed the symbol because they worried about alt-right people
Also, it's
and police.
It's a bad time to be a criminal brother in Marvel.
Why?
Because not only did Daredevil's criminal brother die, Mark Spector's criminal brother was murdered by the Punisher, and then apparently they had like a heart-to-heart feel session about like their methods, like are like Moon Knight's like, are we too brutal? And he's like, nah, I'm cool with
good.
what I'm doing. Last bullet settle all the accounts because Punisher's like, I'm gonna kill myself when all crime is gone, so never. Because you can't
Can't get rid of crime.
get rid of crime.
Yeah,
It's kind of an empty thing, my guy.
Yeah.
But Disney's, thank you for being social leaders here and making sure that something's never fucking happened before with that Frank
And not,
Castle Punisher skull will
hiring-
never happen because you changed it to some fucking goddamn cultural appropriation bullshit fucking skull.
It'll be back.
Instead of
It
hiring
literally never
new
left. You can see
characters.
his fucking. You can see.
No,
his,
Jason and Matt.
I don't know. It's supposed to be horns. What's it supposed to be on that?
it's
Jason
like
Aaron's a good
it's
writer.
like a demon.
He-
now.
I'm not saying,
he
I'm
got
not saying
kidnapped.
he's a bad writer.
They kidnapped
I'm
his
just
family.
saying, like, this is definitely forced down people's throats.
They
No, but,
kidnapped
like,
his family.
The worst thing is like
They
that Punisher skull
They
is
had to.
literally just going to be a plot point. Like that's what's going to happen is once he realizes that the Hand is doing whatever nefarious thing the Hand is doing, he's going to be going back to using the old skull, and it's
Oh, yeah.
going to be like a big thing.
It's like Rambo First Blood Part 2 when his girlfriend dies and he takes that jewel and he ties it around his neck all
Yeah.
super tight and they put the thing on his head and he's like,
Are
good
you
to go.
talking about that scene where they're on that like little dirt berm and then she's like, are we gonna go to America? He's like, we're gonna go to America, babe. And she's like, I'm gonna do this. He's like, yeah. And then she gets up and then gets gunned down. By the yeah, okay, that was dope.
That was a short-lived. And then he had to like go through the whole like dressing up for battle.
Yeah.
There's going to
But
be a
yeah.
dressing up for battle scene in Punisher.
I think the long and short of it is, if you're a longtime Punisher fan, don't read this fucking book. If you've read some Punisher books, don't read this book. And if you've never read a Punisher book, don't read this book.
If
you are blind and never read a book, do not start with this one.
No, that's what I was
Do
actually
not
going to
get
say
the
the
Braille
opposite.
version.
If today is the first day you've seen anything and heard anything, read Punisher because it's only uphill from there.
Or you stab your eyes out.
Like you start at the very bottom.
No,
like,
man, just like-
yo, didn't Prophet Drake say that, man? Started from the bottom. Now he's here. And here's supposed to be a good fucking place, right? Now you can't start at the bottom if you start with good comic books when you first learn how to see.
You could just read Punisher Max and like not.
That's
hate
you
yourself.
starting at here and then you're here. You're not going anywhere. There's no progress in your life that way. You can't go from
Well, it's
here
all-
to here
it's all
to make
downhill.
a good song. So, also start. Go check our GoFundMe.
We have a GoFundMe.
Yeah, we're gonna get together a team of superheroes to go free Jason Aaron because obviously he's kidnapped and fucking held against his will to write this fucking bullshit. I refuse to believe he wrote that bullshit.
Also, rip Ben Riley.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Long live Chasm.
God! Fuck Marvel! Oh my god.
You know how they keep killing Ben Riley? This time they decided when they're bringing him back, they'll make him Chasm.
Yeah, chasm.
Chasm.
Spider-Man instead, long live Chasm.
Yeah. God
My
damn it.
soul is
I
dead.
got a great place to end.
All right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
that is a perfect place to end. All right, guys.
Do we have anything good to talk about? Can we say
No.
one thing good?
Moon Knight.
Oh,
TV
shit.
show. It's good so far. I'm on.
We'll have to
episode
keep
2.
them wanting more.
Yeah, and if you want something trippy and a little bit out there, go read Cullen Bunn's The Heathens.
Ooh.
It's pretty cool. It's really
Turns
fucking
out-
trippy, though.
It's not just a word that Ock calls me.
I love heathens.
He also likes head yachts.
Hold your heathen hammer high. That's all I'm
Hold your
saying.
heathen. All right, guys. Thanks
That's
for
it.
coming back, and yeah, we'll see you soon.
If we don't kill ourselves
Yeah.
from reading shitty Marvel titles. Just in case you're wondering why we